African American slaves in the United States endured one of the most horrific chapters in human history. For centuries, from the early colonial period through the abolition of slavery in the mid-19th century, millions of Africans were forcibly taken from their homelands, transported across the Atlantic Ocean in deplorable conditions, and subjected to the brutal system of chattel slavery. The transatlantic slave trade, which flourished from the 16th to the 19th centuries, forcibly displaced an estimated 12.5 million Africans from their homes. They were captured by European slave traders, often through violent raids on African villages, and transported in overcrowded, unsanitary conditions aboard slave ships. The Middle Passage, as this voyage became known, was a harrowing journey characterized by disease, starvation, and death, with mortality rates as high as 20%. Upon arrival in the Americas, enslaved Africans were sold at auction like property, with no regard for family ties or personal relationships. They were stripped of their identities, languages, and cultures, and forced to adopt the customs and language of their oppressors. Families were torn apart as men, women, and children were sold to different owners, leading to profound and enduring trauma within African American communities. Life on the plantation was marked by relentless toil, harsh living conditions, and extreme violence. Slaves were subjected to backbreaking labor in the fields from dawn until dusk, enduring beatings and other forms of punishment for the slightest infractions. Women faced additional exploitation as they were often subjected to sexual violence by their owners. The constant threat of physical punishment and separation from loved ones casts a shadow over every aspect of daily life. Despite these oppressive conditions, African American slaves demonstrated remarkable resilience and resistance. They maintained their cultural traditions through music, dance, and oral storytelling, finding moments of solace and solidarity within their communities. Some slaves risked their lives to escape bondage, fleeing to free states or forming maroon communities in remote areas. Others engaged in acts of sabotage, such as slowing down work or feigning illness, to resist their oppressors. The abolitionist movement gained momentum in the 19th century, fueled by the tireless efforts of both enslaved and free African Americans, as well as sympathetic white allies. Organizations like the Underground Railroad helped thousands of slaves escape to freedom, while activists like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman spoke out against the horrors of slavery and fought for its abolition. Their courageous efforts challenged the prevailing notions of race and humanity, paving the way for the eventual downfall of the institution of slavery in the United States. The Civil War, fought from 1861 to 1865, ultimately led to the emancipation of enslaved Africans in the United States. President Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation, issued in 1863, declared that all slaves in Confederate-held territory were to be set free. The 13th Amendment to the Constitution, ratified in 1865, formally abolished slavery throughout the country, marking a significant but incomplete victory in the struggle for racial equality. The legacy of slavery continues to shape American society, influencing ongoing debates over race, justice, and inequality. The scars of slavery run deep, manifesting in systemic racism, economic disparities, and social injustices that persist to this day. Understanding and confronting this history is essential for building a more just and equitable future for all. By acknowledging the enduring legacy of African American slaves and their enduring resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity, we honor their struggle and reaffirm our commitment to justice and equality for all.